Hello and welcome to the Everything is Black and White podcast on YouTube. You know what to do by now. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. And today's video is all about the best right back of the last 20 years, Kieran Trippier side. Because let's be honest, ladies and gents, it's no contest. Kieran Trippier is the best right back, not just of the last 20 years, but probably of a generation. And then you're putting him up at least on par with the likes of David Craig and the great fullbacks of the 60s and 70s. But he's arguably probably better than them. Ask your granddads and dads about those names I've just mentioned. But aside from him, who is the best right back of the last 20 years? That's the time start I'm putting on it. So we're not including Steve Watson, not including Warren Barton, two really good full-backs for Newcastle United, two really good right backs for Newcastle United. We're talking really from 2003 onwards, and the reason for this video is because today is Habib Beye's birthday. Now, he was a right back who signed from Marseille in 2007 and was only here for a short while, but for me stood out as a real proper right back, a really good defender. He read the game really well. He was good in the challenge, he was good going forward with the ball at his feet, and he was a leader as well. And I was very sad that he was only here for a short, limited time. Obviously, his time was hampered by the fact that Newcastle did get relegated, and things were an absolute mess on and off the pitch. Had Newcastle under Kevin Keegan managed to stay in the Premier League, I think you would have seen Habib Beye stay at Newcastle United for a lot longer than he did, and become really a fan favourite. So on Chronicle NUFC on Twitter, we've asked you to grade his time at Newcastle United from A down to F. I will give him a B because there's always room for improvement. But if we're talking about the best right back of the last 20 years, Kieran Trippier's side, for me, it has to be Habib Beye, without question. Some will point to DeAndre Yedlin. Some will argue Matthew Debussy. Some will say Danny Simpson. But I think it's Beye for me. I was really excited when they signed him from Marseille. He'd been captain for 2 years. He'd been voted the fans' player of the year. He, for me, was one of the best right backs in Europe when Newcastle United signed him for £3 million. What a bargain that could have been. Given his short stay on Tyneside, can you say it was really a bargain? Because we probably didn't get to see enough of him to put him into the mix of the conversation when you're talking about the best bargains of the last 20 years. You know, Iosi Perez, Fabian Schär, you know, those two can really be held up as two really good examples of the best bargains when it comes to paying next to nothing and getting the most out of them for Newcastle United. But Beye, he only appeared 56 times, I think it was, for Newcastle United. So I don't really think you can have him in that conversation, but I do think you can have him in the conversation about being the second best right back in the last 20 years. I've had someone say Aaron Hughes to me, but Aaron Hughes was kind of on his way out. 2005 he left, so if we count, I mean, look, I'm a big fan of Aaron Hughes. I think he was a really good defender. His versatility was absolutely key for Newcastle United. But I don't think you can look beyond. I don't think you can look beyond Habib Beye. I just think I was really excited when they signed him. I was really disappointed. Obviously, Newcastle got relegated and he left because he did say he wanted to stay on Tyneside and help Newcastle United get back to the Premier League. But things were such a mess. You might remember Alan Shearer was in charge temporarily. He then got the boot, despite the fact he made it quite clear he wanted to stay. He had a plan. Mike Ashley didn't ring him back. Alan Shearer joked he was still waiting for the call not too long ago from Mike Ashley. Chris Hughton got the job, and there were a lot of senior players who left to save their careers. There was a lot of senior players who didn't really care. I think Beye left to try and prolong his career. He went to Aston Villa, didn't work out there. He ended up with Doncaster Rovers, didn't work out there either. He's a pundit, he's a coach now as well. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. The best Newcastle United right back of the last 20 years, Kieran Trippier's side, who is it? For me, it's Habib Beye. Let me know if you think it's Matthew Debussy, Danny Simpson, Aaron Hughes, Deandre Yedlin. We've had quite a few, haven't we? We've had quite a few full-backs, I think, right-backs specifically, who could have had a much better career. They had alright careers, they had talent in abundance, but they never quite truly fulfilled their potential. And I'm looking at Deandre Yedlin when I'm talking about that, because such a speedy player. He was good going forward, but he lacked that concentration at times, and he's the one I look at and think, what could have been? He could have been a real world beater, but leaving the Premier League at what, 27, 28, and going to apply your trade over in America kind of shows you where his career headed in this division here in England. But yeah, the best right back aside from Kieran Trippier over the last 20 years. Let me know in the comments, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.